Hey, you know what? Sometimes I just want to go home. Like a lot of the time, I just want to go home. I actually woke up in the middle of the night last night um, because I had this horrible nightmare where I was actually crawling across a table to my ex husband and just begging and crying. I just want to come home. Make everything that happened not be real. Let's like erase everything that you did and let's make real what I always wanted. Like I was pleading with him. I woke up crying, like literal tears, because I was begging for um, my reality right now to be instead in my fantasy. Okay, so today it is episode 29 of Escaping My Fairy Tale, and I am your host, or I am Linda. Yes, um, I have been thinking a lot about this. Why? Why do I want to go back home, and what does that mean? You know, I remember in Exodus, when the Israelites were leaving Egypt, they were in captivity there. They were not treated well, but they got their meals, but they were slaves. And yet they pleaded, Moses, just let us go back. We just want to go back home. There's more certainty there. And I think that's the same heart that I am experiencing this because I want to go home. Yes, home was dangerous for me. It was a place where I was not treated the way God intended. I was sleeping. It got to the point where I was sleeping at least 12 hours a night. And then he would ask me to go into rest time for like 3 hours in the afternoon. And I would be in there alone and depressed. And it wasn't good. I was dealing with his anger, with his silent treatment, never knowing what mood I was going to get, trying to bend myself to fix the mood. But within all of that, I was adoring and loving and raising my children for the Lord, like homeschooling them. My world within that home held a lot of beauty as I raised my kids. But with him, it wasn't safe. I mean, like I've told you before, the doctor told me 3 months, Linda, your levels are so bad. You need to send your husband away or you're not going to live. And he knew. He had been watching my blood levels and taking care of me for a long time with these chronic illnesses I wasn't able to get on top of, with a fever that lasted for at least a year. He was taking care of me. He was aware that I was deteriorating. So I finally had the boldness to send him from Hawaii at that time to a pastor. I know I'm repeating myself, but just to sum it up, I got the confession letters. And one of them I remembered last night where he said, Linda, I'm so sorry for telling you I love you when I didn't mean it. And he apologized. I'm sorry, I was never actually a Christian. I treated you terribly. I blew up the home. I destroyed the home. I've alienated myself from my children. He owned all of that. And yet I take the blame for it because it's what I've always done. And so when I lay in bed in shame, like maybe I blew up my life, maybe I did this, maybe I'm just this woman that chose to blow up her home. No, I didn't do it. He even admitted that. before the 5 years of dragging me through the court system with his attorney then abusing me horribly through these years, labeling me terribly, chasing me down for this and that. Before that, he owned that he burned the house down. And I tried to rebuild the home for 30 years. I tried to make something out of nothing for so long. And then when he admitted it was never real, I've been living a totally gross life on the side. And I realized, wow, this is just something that I wanted to be real, but it never was. Yet it was my home. It was my home. And sometimes I just want to go back home. Yeah, I was mistreated. Yeah, he would get angry. Yeah, I was going through some real health crisis situations. Yeah, my kids weren't safe. But it's all I knew. Like the Israelites, it's what they knew, what they were familiar with. And there's a piece of us, I think, that just wants to go back to the familiar, even if it's horribly painful. At least it's familiar and there's normalcy to it. Where I am right now, my life is just so uprooted. And I'm so confused at my situation. And so I think, okay, so I need to go back. I need to go back and maybe I can rebuild what was burnt down. But then I have to tell myself, okay, but look at what he's doing right now. I barely have enough to make ends meet financially. He's turned so many people against me. He still doesn't love me. And he can say the right things to the community he's with to convince them that things have changed, but behaviorally towards me and the kids, he's out. And so why do I want to go home? It's because I feel so lost. Because I've lost so much. I lost what I wanted it to be. It's this attachment and the separating of my dreams and my beliefs and what I fought for. And to realize, no, he burnt it down. He said he did. He said it was never real. And he's treated you terribly ever since, to date. I need to stop blaming myself and feeling shameful and confused like a child that wants to run home, because I think shame is just putting blame in the wrong place. I didn't do this. I would love to go home for my hopes, dreams, and beliefs to be real and to get that dream I always hoped for of now my children being grown and then they'll get married, they'll have children, and my husband will eventually love me. I have to live in reality. And I don't understand this longing to go home when everybody's telling me, well, okay, like Patrick said to me the other day, okay, you can go home. You can go back to him. You're just going to die. It's been proven. You've been told that. And the behavior has only become worse. So if you're okay dying, you can go back. It's really hard to separate reality from what I fought so hard for it to last, for it to be real. It's kind of like I was all the energy in the home. And it's not like I'm describing that. It's what he said. I can't go home because the home's not there. He burned it down. And actually, there's like no sign of ashes because it was never there. And I need to learn now that God is my home. And these precious children that stand beside me are my home. And God has a purpose for my life. And I need to go easy on myself when I get these feelings of, I need to go home. I'm so alone. I need to be cared for. I need to be watched over. And then reality says, yeah, but you never really were. So I'm going to put a little something something here. And every time I say this, I like picture, I told you in the beginning, like I wanted this to be like Mr. Rogers. Now we go into make believe, the land of make believe, and then I meet you on the other side. I picture that every time, which is kind of silly. Kind of silly. But it's me, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been times in these last 11 months where I'm like, I feel like I'm more miserable than I was in the marriage. I mean,
Yeah.
I have nobody, you know, there's so many different ways that it's like the abuse and the harm just was so ramped up since the separation that you know, I'm like, well, what was worse? You know,
Right.
this agony is so bad. I'm just like, well, you know, I lost a child over this. I lost my family. I lost my friends. I lost my reputation. I lost, you know, who I thought I was. All my hard work. And if I had just kept my mouth quiet or just gone back or just did what Terry said and go back into the burning house and rebuild it, would I be as miserable as I am now?
You'd be dead.
I don't know. Do you think so? I
Well,
mean,
that's what your doctor was saying. Remember?
yeah.
That would have been good for your kids.
You know, even if I went back and went under Doug's authority and went back, oh, Mike, I'm so sorry, da 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 da, when went back into his house, he would kill me because
yeah, he was already doing it.
I'm realizing he really hates me. You know, it wouldn't be good for me in any way.
I think Mike hates women in general. He treats them as such. He has no respect for women. He uses them. He doesn't care about his own children. He's using his daughter. He doesn't love her. Very difficult, but this is, from my perspective, building to a place where you really will be free. You're just at the beginning stages of being free from Mike. And unfortunately, that came with a whole other set of injustices from the court system. Which is not how it should be. If they would have done the right thing, your healing would be a lot easier. But because of all the injustice of the court system, now you're fighting that whole battle, which complicates your grief and steals your energy and makes it hard. But again, Linda, that's not because of you. You're the one who's been harmed here, not the one who did the harm.
If I could, I would go home and have a loving husband, have him be the man I fought for him to be, dreamt of him being, told myself he was. Because like a child, I just want to go home. I want to be loved. But the Lord is saying that home was never safe for me, was never safe for my children. And even based on my ex-husband's own words, he never loved me or the Lord. And boy, did he prove that when I was brave enough to file for divorce. Boy, did his true colors come out. But sometimes we want to go back, even though it was harmful. I think I want to add here that when I woke up last night from this terrible nightmare. I did what I always do because this is pretty common for me. I wake up sweating and with literal tears, and I go down to the floor and I have a little pillow bed on the floor down here, and I lie down, and my little bunny comes hopping over to me like immediately and kisses my face as I lie there, and my nervous system kind of gets regulated again. I calm down. I get my breathing under control. And she just brings me this crazy peace. And I will lay there for about 40 minutes in the middle of the night until I have enough peace to go back to bed. I'm so thankful for my little bunny. And I hope you all have an animal that loves you. I don't know. It's just such an amazing gift from God. And they sense like our anxiety and our sadness. And it's kind of like she bounces over and says, okay, I'm here with you and we're okay together, because she's scared to death of everything too. She's a bunny. So, but I just wanted to talk about it because I have to assume I am not the only one. Okay. Okay, so this video is going to have so many stops in it because my daughter texts me. No, she doesn't text me. She like FaceTimes me. And then she'll put the video just on our cat and and doesn't say anything and just lets me observe the beauty of our cat. And it will go on for a while. It's very funny. So my cat just called and interrupted me again, which is so funny because this has been a funny video to try to get recorded because I'm interrupted by animals. But anyways, I think this was an important thing to share because you know what? It's what I'm going through. It's what I'm feeling. And there I was just pleading with him to let me go home because literally I feel like a little girl in the rain. And even though I wasn't treated with love, and it's not just my assessment of the situation, he said that. And boy, he's proven that in the last 5 years. And what he's left me with really seals it up. So I'm not in confusion when I say there is no home there to go to. And the home that I thought was so beautiful with so much potential was never what I wanted it to be, hoped for it to be. But my Lord was real through it, and my bond with my children was real through it. And I am so thankful for that. And I'm so thankful that I still have their love. I continue to pray for the one that is estranged. That breaks my heart. But you know, yeah, that click, there's my daughter again wanting to show a picture of our cat. I think we're all a little bit insane. But if you've ever longed to go home and then you realize it's not there and we need to live in reality and find what God has planned for us. Like me, making these videos, I believe will glorify Him, and I'm hoping will help some of you. So you're not insane, you're not a nut when you drive around and just wish everything could just be okay. and you could have the shelter of a husband. Who cares if he doesn't treat you well? It's kind of crazy what we'd be willing to sacrifice for that certain type of security that a woman longs for. But God wants more for me, and He wants more for you. And He is the one that loves us. He is our home. So thank you for coming. Thank you for babbling with me. No, I guess you didn't babble. Thanks for letting me babble. With all the interruptions of these texts with pictures of our cat, that's too funny. But thanks for coming. And I hope you stay with me as we walk through these absolutely insane castle walls together. I'll see you next time.